Well, hello on this Wednesday, another wet Wednesday, our fifth consecutive wet Wednesday. Since spring began, every single Wednesday has been pretty soggy. And rain, snow, all of the above. Once again, northeastern Minnesota, winter weather advisory for much of northeastern Minnesota, winter storm warnings for parts of the North Shore. We'll talk about the snow they'll get here in a second. Also, another tight pressure gradient, those yellow lines, those are the isobars, lines of pressure, and as they bunch together, that really increases the wind. So out of the southeast again today as that moisture moves eastward. So rainfall will continue to fill in mid-day into the afternoon hours. The nice thing about this storm that's different from the last four is it's moving through. So we're talking about several hours of rain this afternoon and then drying out this evening, clearing out tonight, and sunshine is back for tomorrow. So that's the piece of good news. Over a half inch of rain is possible, though, across much of central into northern Minnesota, but much of this in northeastern Minnesota will fall as snow. So it's not going to be just in the form of liquid. And as mentioned, the North Shore really getting walloped again. A very narrow area in the higher terrain. So you got to get immediately away from the lake shore. That's where we're talking about several inches of snow from basically Silver Bay up to Grand Marais, and then patchy areas of 1 to 3 inches for most of the rest of northeastern Minnesota. So not substantial snow there, but clouds clear out already tonight. We'll see sunshine tomorrow. Northern Minnesota will see more cloud cover for a good chunk of the day. They'll clear back out, but basically the southern half of the state will be brighter tomorrow. Overall, more sun than clouds, and not bad. A touch below normal still, mid 50s, mid to upper 50s maybe. That normal high is about 59 now, so we'll be just a few degrees below that. Northern Minnesota will be cooler though, again because of more clouds there in the 40s. But we've got a few plumes of moisture kind of surging north from the Gulf of Mexico being drawn up by three different disturbances. The first one is today. Again, not a ton of moisture, but half inch is pretty good for plain old rain. But then as we head into Friday and Saturday, the situation's more convective. In other words, more thunderstormy. So those are hit and miss, but they can also produce more rain if you get hit by them. And when we look at the 5-day total precip here, you can really see that sort of laid out, that general path from the Gulf up into Minnesota and even in much of Ontario and Manitoba. So we do see those three different waves of moisture really adding up. And with that moisture comes a little bit of energy too as we warm up. So this is convective available potential energy, thunderstorm energy, really across Nebraska here on Friday, and then sort of a narrow area that could move through Saturday. So we are talking about the possibility of some general thunderstorms, but probably not severe weather, at least in the Twin Cities. So the risk Friday, generally the SPC is watching the far southwestern corner of Minnesota into mostly Nebraska. That's where we see things line up. Higher dew points, more energy for thunderstorms, that cape. And then the most important things is organization of storms, the supercell index and that significant tornado parameter really lining up across Nebraska into portions of Iowa, maybe up towards about Sioux Falls or so. So a line of storms developed kind of in two waves. Another one maybe late Friday night. So this is early Saturday, 5 a.m. So we might have an initial round of late day storms Friday and then some nocturnal storms. And then our turn will come Saturday later in the day, probably as we see warmer air and a cold front come through. But our one day of very warm weather, mid 70s across much of central and southern Minnesota, the first 70 for most of us, including the Twin Cities. And it's going to feel sticky too. So dew points are going to be near 60 by midday. You combine that with temperatures in the 70s, both of which we have not seen much of or at all yet this season. So it's definitely going to feel pretty warm for us. The risk of severe weather generally to the south, though, again on Saturday, Iowa into Kansas and Missouri. Doesn't mean we won't see thunderstorms, but the more organized storms that could produce severe weather probably to our south. Other than that, we'll see some leftovers maybe Friday night. But here's that Saturday scenario. And again, kind of a broken line of storms too. So it's not a guarantee. That front may come through kind of quietly for half of us. And then the other half of us will see at least some scattered storms. And we're back into some cool weather after Saturday. So we get that surge of warmth Saturday and then below normal temperatures. That's what's shaded in green, blue, and purple, moving in across the plains into Minnesota here for Sunday into early next week. Highs back in the 40s and low 50s. Yeah, a little cool yet again. High Sunday, mostly 50s here, but again, 40s and even 30s into far northwestern Minnesota after that warm day on Saturday. So make a plan, get outside Saturday, because we probably won't see 70s again for several days anyway. So there's that spike. This is looking at all the different models, that spike in temperature Saturday, that drop. So especially, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, but then we see all the models trending back upward late next week. Just how warm is the question. Some models have us in the 70s again by the next weekend. We'll see if that pans out, but nonetheless closer to normal by late next week. Only 48 today with the clouds and showers. And then clearing out tonight will be in the 30s. 56 tomorrow, again, just a touch below normal by a couple degrees, but brighter, lighter winds. It's actually gonna be a pretty nice Thursday. Friday, we'll see more clouds around, and again, we could see some leftovers from the showers and storms that developed to the west. Saturday, warm, late day thunder, 75, and then falling temperatures Sunday into Monday. It will be cooler, back below normal, but probably not as cold as this last stuff. I don't see 30s for us in southern Minnesota, or low 40s at least. And then again, the trend is back upward late next week towards that normal, which is in the low 60s by late next week.